You type one line, the login test is failing, fix it. Something reads your file, runs the test, sees the errors, and changes the code. Run it again, comes back when it passes. Nobody wrote those steps down. By the end of this, you know exactly what makes that an agent. So, what is an agent? A model that picks the next step itself, does it, looks at what actually happened, and picks again. It keeps going until the job's done or until you stop it. Say that back to yourself. The words doing the work, there are looks at what happened. Three pieces that all a model that decide tools which are just function you let it call, like read a file or send an email, and a loop with a stopping condition so it knows what when to quit. Model tools loop everything in this course hangs off one of those three. Stay with me right to the end. We are going to write this loop out in code line by line, and you will be able to build it yourself. The loop has four stops: decides, act, look at the result, decide again, draw the line, circle once, and you have got it. Think about fixing a puncture on your cycle. You don't write the steps first. You pull the tube out, hold it underwater, look for the bubbles. What you do next depends on what you just saw. That's the loop. You have probably used one already. That coding agent from the start. The model decides the tools are read a file, run a command, edit a file, then stops. Condition is simple. The test passes, same three pieces. One more thing, I have made a WhatsApp group for this course. When your first loop runs or when it gets stuck going around and round, post it there, links in the description. So, why do we need a loop at all? Ask a model once and you get text back. That's it. It never find out whether the text was any good because it never sees what happened next. And most real work needs something you only learn halfway through, which file the bug is actually in, whether that fight has it, what the error message said. You can't put that in the prompt because you don't know it yet. So people hard coded every step instead works on the good day. Then reality is slightly different. So you add an hit, then another. Now you are writing the model's decisions by hand forever. Take a support assistant, it has to look up the customer's order first and what comes back change what it says next. So when do you actually want one? Here's the rule: use an agent when the next step depends on something you can only find out by doing the step before. That's the whole test. Line up the three. A chatbot answer you and stop. It takes no action. A workflow takes an action but fix the order when you wrote it. An agent takes an action and picks the next one from what it just saw. Summarize this document. That's a chatbot. Every night, pull yesterday's orders and email me the total. That's a workflow. Find out why yesterday's report come out empty. That's an agent because nobody knows the answer yet. Now the part most videos skip and the one people get wrong. Plenty of things built as agents never needed to be. If you already know the steps, write the steps. A workflow is cheaper, faster, and it fails the same way every time, which you are appreciate at 2 in the morning. Three more of these same if it has to be auditable, money moving, compliance, anything somebody sign off. Same input should give the same output and a model picking its own path breaks that. Same if it has to be quick because every turn is another trip to the model. And if the job is one step, like classify this ticket, call the model once. All four want the same thing, a workflow with a model. Call inside one of the step. That's four part done and stay to the end because the last 2 minutes are the two mistakes that break almost everything first agent. Now let's build one three things a model that supports tool calling, which just means you hand it an list of functions and it tells you which one to run. One tool that does something real and a rule for when to stop. No framework. Start with what you already have. One call, the model answer, and that's it. No tool, no loop, nowhere for a result to go. It never find out it was there. Now add the two missing pieces. Keep a list of everything that happens. Call it the history. Then go round. Ask the model what to do next. Give Given the goal, the history, and the tools, if it hands back an answer, you are done. And that's your first stopping condition. If it asks for a tool, run it, put the result into history, and go around again. That's an agent. That one line where you ask the model what to do next, the mistake what makes it one, and the line that puts the result back into history, that's the observing. Take the line out and you have got a model guessing in the dark. One more line and don't escape it. A loop that runs while true is a bug wearing a suit. Give it a maximum number of turns, and a turn is just one trip round the loop. Then decide what happens when it hit that number. Budgets and timeouts get their own video later. This is the floor. Let's run it on the support example. A customer asks where their orders got to. Turn one, the model calls, look up order with the order ID. The observes what came back refunded 2 days ago. Turn two, it has enough. So it answers turn, and the second one only exists because of what the first one found. Two mistakes now, and I see both constantly. First, no stopping condition. The agent decided isn't done. Call another tools, goes again. It doesn't crash. It just keeps spending, and every turn sends the whole history back. So the bill grows as it goes. The fix is one line. Write the turn cap before you write your first tool. Second, building a workflow and calling it an agent that steps sit in your code in order and the model just writes text at each stop. Nothing is choosing. Ask yourself one question. Can the model picks a different next step than the one I expected? If it can't, you have built a workflow and that's fine. Just call it once. Quick recap. An agent is a model, tools, and a loop with a stopping condition. What makes it an agent is that it looks at the result before it chooses again. Everything else is this course is a decision around the loop. Next video, the first real question, you will run it into one agent or server and how to tell which one you need. Subscribe so it finds you. Follow me on Instagram and join the WhatsApp group. Links in the description, and tell me in the comments one job at your work where nobody knows the steps in advance. That's the one worth pointing an agent at.